It's a government service which runs background checks on people seeking employment. And not all jobs actually legally require a DBS check, but care jobs do. But all employers can actually apply for a DBS on a new employee if they want to. But you cannot actually deal directly with a DBS. You have to go through an intermediary, like someone like ourselves. We're an umbrella organization, so we are a counter signatory for DBSs. I know a lot of you use us. I'm going to probably make a lot of references to our DBS service today, but what I'm going to say is relevant if you use another platform as well. So what I'm going to talk about today should be like very generic advice about the DBS. So the basics, there are actually three levels of search. There's a basic search, a standard search, and an enhanced. And as a general rule of thumb, all staff working within a care environment need an enhanced search. Very few exceptions to this. Rule of thumb is whether or not they have direct contact with residents or service users, and do they cross the threshold if you're a care home. So you could make an argument, for instance, that if you're a care home and you've got a gardener, but they never come into the building and they never interact with any of the residents, then they could just have a standard search. But in reality, this isn't very practical. As a general rule of thumb, all staff working in a care environment should have an enhanced search. The enhanced search cannot be done by the individual themselves because they need to supply ID items which need to be verified by the employer. And talking about crossing the threshold, so if you're a care home, so what about hairdressers and other regular trades? Well, the key word here is regular. So how often will they be visiting? Again, the rule of thumb is if it's once a week or more, then they will need an enhanced search. You need to arrange the enhanced search for them because, again, they can't do it themselves and you need to check their identity items. If they're coming in less than once a week, then the standard would probably be okay, to be quite honest. Irregular trades, such as suppliers coming in to fix something, do not necessarily need to produce evidence that they've got a DBS, although we tend to find that most employers who do actually supply to the care industry normally, as a matter of practice, will make sure that their employees all have a DBS check done. Young people under 16 legally cannot have a DBS. So if you've got someone who's on work experience, it's not an issue. You don't need to get a DBS done for them. But of course, they should always be supervised. And the final thing is the adult first. If you're not aware of what an adult first is, that's actually a check of the barring list, which is something quite different to the actual search. The search will always check the barring list anyway. But an adult first is just something you can pay a little bit extra for. It checks the barring list normally within 24 hours. And if it comes back clear, you can actually start them under supervision until the actual main search completes.